Welcome back, everyone. I hope you all had a fab Christmas and a happy new year to everybody. Welcome to another story presented by yours truly, Cryptids Roost. Please be so kind as to throat punch the like button, and don't forget to smack the ass of the subscription button as well. This will help with the YouTube's algorithm and will help promote the channel more. If you would like to support the channel and help make it grow, you can make your donations to paypal.me/cryptidsroost. And don't forget to check out the merch store. All the links are listed below. So grab your coffee, sit back and enjoy the show. I Hate My New Apartment, Part 3. This fantastic series is written by Rose Black 2222, a wonderful author over on Reddit's NoSleep. Fuck the court. That bastard judge ruled in Tom's favour. I had to fork over $1,000 for the fine, plus another $500 over to him. Why so much? He was pretty much fine when I saw him, aside from a little swelling. I also got put on community service for 6 months. There go my weekends. At least this keeps me out of my apartment for a while. So, silver lining, I guess. Anyways, since my last post, I figured that I should investigate how the apartment came to be the way it is. However, with such limited free time, I haven't been able to find out much. As it turns out, there aren't many records available about this place. Hell, I wasn't even able to find the name of the person who owns it. All this took place over the last month, and I'm no closer to solving this mystery or getting back my deposit. Well, since as I'm writing this update, I guess I should share the last horror the apartment had in store for me. This took place a couple of days ago, on the 2nd. I was getting back from the store with a bunch of discounted Halloween candy. I'm not proud of this, but I ended up eating a lot of it on the way home. I think it was due to the stress of everything going on. Usually I'd eat it all after I got home. Anyhow, I wiped the chocolate off my face, then got out the car. I should also mention that I got some weapons since my last post. Unfortunately, I wasn't eligible for a gun due to the charges pressed against me. I had to settle for a metal bat and some knives I purchased at a gas station. Alright you bastard, let's see what you got for me, I thought, then pushed open the door, hard, making it slam. Keep it down! I heard someone yell. Sorry, I called back. After entering my apartment, I saw that, like last time, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. I wondered if things were going to go like last time, which I figured if my apartment was going to attempt killing me, it could at least be original while trying to do so. Nonetheless, I began looking around my apartment. Alright, so far so good, I thought, not seeing anything wrong. I was still on edge though. I was expecting the floor to turn into quicksand or something similar. But no matter where I looked, nothing seemed wrong. That is, until I got to my bedroom. The second I touched the doorknob, a wave of dread swept through me. I wanted to get out of the apartment right at that very moment. But I knew that if I left, the apartment would be angry. Whatever it had planned for me then would be even worse if I left, then came back. I mentally prepared myself for the worst and opened the bedroom door. Everything in my room looked the same, that is except for the girl sitting on my bed. She had her back to me. She had on a white nightgown and had long black wet hair. I considered just walking over, but the door hadn't creaked, so I thought that maybe she hadn't noticed me. I thought that if I was quiet, I could sneak up on her and quickly end this night. I raised the bat as I tiptoed in my room. I reached my bed and got ready to swing. You don't need to be afraid, the girl said. Shit, I muttered. My bedroom door closed. Hey, I said, then tried opening it. I'm sorry, but I can't let you leave. At least not yet. The girl was now standing right before me. She had a pretty face, although half of it was covered by her hair.
Besides this one, how many of these encounters have you had?
2. But why do you care?
Because I used to live here.
Seriously? How did you,
die? You don't have to sugarcoat it. And to answer your question, like this.
Hands shot up from the floor, grabbing my ankles. I yelled, then tried hitting them with my bat. But it was no use. They began pulling me down, dragging me into the floor.
Help! I can't, I'm afraid. I had to go through this, and now you do too.
I could do nothing as the hands pulled me all the way through the floor. Soon I was enveloped in total darkness. The only thing I could make out were the people in front of me. They were twisted in the most pained expressions I have ever seen. There were ones with their faces torn away, others had their jaws ripped off and eyes gouged out among different injuries that were inflicted upon them. The sight was bad enough, but that was nothing compared to the smell. Think rotting meat that's been sitting in the hot summer sun for a week. Thankfully, I didn't have to endure it for very long, as I fell further. Soon, the people I saw got further away until they were completely out of sight. The only other person I saw was the girl that was in my room. She drifted down towards me. I landed on a terrain? I'm not sure if that's the most accurate name for it, but for lack of a better word, that's what I'm referring it to as. It was soft, yet firm. I felt it give a little under my feet. However, I never fell through or sunk in it. "Where the hell am I?" I asked as the girl came down. "You, get me the fuck out of here," I said to her.
"I would if I could, but I can't."
"Then why did you bring me down here?"
"I didn't. The apartment did, like it brought me here."
"Did you die here?" She nodded.
"I wandered aimlessly, trying to look for a way out. I ended up starving to death."
Needless to say, that didn't exactly give me high hopes. "Wait a sec, if you never found a way out, how did you get in my room?"
"I'm not sure, to be honest. I just kind of appeared there. Then when you were dragged down here, I appeared back here as well."
"I fell down, right? Do you think you could carry me up? Maybe we'll stumble across a portal or something similar." She shook her head.
"I tried that after I became a ghost. However, no matter how high I flew, there was no escape for me."
I felt my heart race at the thought of being stuck here. "Okay, you seem like a nice person. Would you be willing to try and help me get out of here?"
"Thank you, and yes, I would. But first, could you tell me your name?"
"Ethan."
"Nice to meet you, Ethan. I'm Angelica."
"Nice to meet you too. What do you say we get moving?" At first I thought the place was an empty void, but as we moved it began to change. Weird pointy structures began rising around us. "Have you seen this all before?"
"Yes. I'm not sure what they are though. They feel strange, to say the least."
I touched one to confirm this. It felt scaly, and I could have sworn I saw it move. "How often did you see these things?"
"This is my second time seeing them."
"How long did you live in the apartment before coming here?"
2 months. I thought my first experience was just a dream. If I had taken it seriously, I might have been able to avoid my fate."
"And here I thought it wanted to try new ways to torture me."
"It's new to you."
"Whatever. Is there anything that's actually hostile in this place?" She answered by pointing past me. I turned around to see creatures flying, well, more like swimming, at us. They were serpent-like, only they had hundreds of eyes in place of heads. I doubted the weapons I had on me would do much against them. Despite that, I raised the bat to strike at one of those things.
"There's no need for that. They won't hurt you. They only go after the dead."
"Then why are you just standing here? Run!"
"It's always over quickly."
The creature let out a loud hum and their eyes began to glow white. Their speed increased as they came towards us. "Come on," I said, tugging Angelica's arm, but she wouldn't budge. One of those things knocked me away. Angelica became a speck in the distance as I was sent flying. The soft ground kept me from getting seriously injured when I finally landed. I pulled myself to my feet. Then I started running back. The creatures surrounded Angelica. I couldn't make out what they were doing to her. However, the crunching I heard gave me a pretty good guess. The creatures dispersed by the time I got back to where I was before. Angelica had been picked clean. Her nightgown had been shredded and every bit of flesh on her had been picked clean.
"It doesn't hurt so much once you get used to it," she said, sitting up.
Her nightgown began to grow back, as did her flesh and skin.
How often does this happen?" "Every few days or so. And if you don't find a way out, you'll experience it as well."
"You think I don't know that?" I may have lost my cool a little. I began yelling curses, with Angelica just looking at me. I went over to one of those structures, then I began hitting it with my bat.
"I don't think what you're doing is very smart,"
Angelica told me, but I ignored her. It wasn't until I felt the ground start shaking that I finally stopped. "What's going on?" I asked, looking round.
"I warned you, and I have no idea what will happen."
We ended up losing our balance. The next thing I knew, we were being carried upward. It was at that moment I realised that the ground we had been walking on this whole time was a living creature. I know I should have figured that out, touching those pointy things. However, I thought they were supposed to be separate from each other, not part of one being. I looked at Angelica to see how she was handling things. She looked absolutely terrified. I heard a deep, loud groan coming from behind me. I was about to turn around, but she stopped me. I saw her look in her eyes, like whatever sanity she had left was on the verge of breaking.
"Whatever you do, don't look at it,"
she said, not looking at me, but past me. That's all I can share tonight. Unfortunately, I have to be at work pretty early, so I need to go to bed. The only other thing I can share is that I've been seeing that goat I mentioned a lot more often. I'm not sure what that's about. Hopefully it isn't bad news for me. Anyways, I'll update you as soon as I can. See you later. Wow, that was an epic first episode. If you enjoyed listening to this installment, be sure to pop over to the author's Reddit profile, RoseBlack2222, and drop them a line and tell them what you think of their story. The link to their Reddit profile will be below in the description. Be sure to also check out their Patreon for even more stories. The link to their Patreon will also be below. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed my narration, then please feel free to like and share the video, leave a comment below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and tap that notification bell and then select all. That way you'll receive all notifications each time I upload a new video. Have you had any cryptic sightings, paranormal or supernatural encounters, or even had a creepy or terrifying situation you would like to share? Have you written a CreepyPasta story you would like me to narrate? You can submit all your stories to cryptidsroost@gmail.com. If you wish to remain anonymous, that's not a problem. I will honour your wishes. Now I also have a new Facebook group, Twitter, Reddit and Discord. Again, all my relevant links will be below. If you would like to support this channel and help make it grow, my PayPal is paypal.me/cryptidsroost. Again, that'll also be listed below. And don't forget, where fear is, happiness is not.